I'm not black, I'm OJ. Okay. You know, there's a good piece by Marcus Smart on the Players Tribune. He talks about the lessons of 2020 and one instance in particular where a white person, a woman, with her child walking across the street said, "Fuck you, nigga." He'd been called that quite a few times, he said, by racist people, but that one hit him because all he could think about was the effect it would have on the child. I don't know which is sadder, how easy it is to teach a child colorism and eventually racism, or how hard it is for grown folks to realize they were bamboozled. The programming and conditioning in this country, when I say deep as hell, I'm being literal. Words have tremendous power. I keep saying it until you guys get it right. If hip-hop has taught us anything, please realize that people get killed over rap. That shit doesn't happen with any other genre of music. Consider that. Colorism and racism thrive off of actions, but words are the programming. Number 1, minority. This is used for any group smaller than the majority. So-called blacks are called a minority group. It is coded language. It marginalizes you. It is a lie. There are over 300 million people in this country. The government is made up of a few thousand. A minority can rule a majority. 300 Spartans can hold off hundreds of Persians. Martin Luther King can inspire millions around the world. Stop using the word minority for any ethnicity. Stop using it to describe yourself. Words have power. You are telling your cells in your body that they do not matter, and you wonder why you don't feel good. Number 2, race. There is no dating outside of your race unless you're fucking a Martian or a beast on Earth. Our race is human. You're not a so-called black person first and foremost. You're a human being. It's not only a great point of relating to someone else, it would also make other ethnicities face the foolishness of their programmed colorism. Human works for any gender, any class, any sexual preference, any color, no matter what your stance was in life. When you're dead, your bones are gonna say human. In case you haven't noticed it by now, identity is a hot topic. It is quite fluid. So if a white person wants to identify as a black person, and all of a sudden 245 million so-called white people want to all of a sudden identify as black, what are you as an African American or a black person going to do? What are you going to say? You guys aren't black, we're black. Now you're both fighting over a stupid ass word, a color used to describe a human being. That's how stupid racism is. Speaking of color, number 3, the phrase people of color. This is still calling black folks colored. It's just coded language. Truth is, everyone is a human with varied complexion. White and black human beings do not exist. I proved that in the colorism video. Not even an albino is white. A piece of paper is white. Darkness is what black looks like. Turn off the lights, that is black. Number 4, nigger or nigga. Cut the cord of this word. Abolish it. Ancestors died over that word and were taught to refer to themselves as such. It's just as bad as vile, stupid, piss, shit, slut, whore. Adjusting the spelling means nothing. I understand y'all think it's a way of having some sort of control over so-called white folks, cause they can't say it. But that's a lie. Obviously, white people say it because they keep getting caught saying it. But what you won't hear too many so-called white people say is the word honky to describe themselves. You don't hear them say, "Where my honkies at in here?" or "They don't want us honkies or crackers to have shit, man." But honky and cracker sounds too funny. It's literally not derogatory enough. I'll dig up a word further back. Ofay, O-F-A-Y, is basically how you would say the word foe in Pig Latin. Ofay is what blacks called whites in the 1920s. As I said, it's Pig Latin for foe, which means enemy, meaning you hold this person in contempt, that they aren't to be trusted. Ofay, this is the person that is against me ever having anything, even a life. You don't hear that word being used at all anymore. Notice how it faded. You don't even hear white supremacists use it. And in their case, it'd be the truth. Apparently, everyone else knows that calling yourself an offensive word just doesn't make you look very bright or even trustworthy. Travel and you'll learn that nigger is worldwide. Even people who aren't African Americans refer to themselves as niggers due to being oppressed or musical influence. And thanks to hip hop, as well as our own communities holding on to the word, people associate the word nigger with so-called blacks or African Americans all the time. No matter our social status, wealth, or education. That's on us as adults to hold each other accountable. We do that, the children, of course, would follow suit. Reprogram yourselves. Don't say it's just a word, because words have power. And so-called blacks still fight and cry racism over the use of the word nigger. And if you think that myself and others like me are making a big thing over just one word, ask yourself, what happened to the word ofe? Why don't you hear that kind of language anymore? So-called blacks. You know, if you're conditioned good enough, even me saying that is going to piss you off a little bit. But you're human beings. I know it's hard. Respect yourselves. Watch your mouth. Literally, the world is watching you and listening to everything you say. You're not a king. You're not a queen. These are esteemed titles given to you by other human beings. You can never in reality be a king unless the people accept you as that. Even if you're born into royalty, the people have to accept you as ruler. You're a human being. Look at what humans are capable of in the present, or look at history. We can commit complete savagery, or we can advance everything we touch. We can create life or artificial life. We can break atoms and we can put them back together. Humans. Not black, not white, not niggers, not honkies or spics or towel heads. Humans. Don't even think about referring to yourselves as gods unless you look within yourself and see the God-like ability that you have. And once you find that, let us hope that you'll be a loving human who performs miracles like a god versus one who would try to destroy the world and try to recreate it in his and her image like a god. God-like versus gods. Hear the words. Know the difference. Take care.